testimonial in her own words. She had crippling anxiety for 20 years, guys. Anxiety disorder. Bullshit. No such thing. There's your fight, flight, or freeze response that is hardwired into you, that is your survival instincts, that was wired to something she didn't want it to be. All right? We had a 15-minute conversation at the bar. And I did some of the same techniques with the color and the rotation. You can read in there. It's a rather lengthy, but I let her put it in her own words. And her tagline says this: I've had crippling anxiety for 20 years. Almost killed her several times, okay? I've spent $30,000 of my own money. Neurologist can't find anything wrong with me. She laughed at me when I said, because there's nothing wrong with you, Shelby. Oh, Mike, don't tell me. I said, just wait. After we got done with that 15-minute conversation, and you'll see I did the pattern in her room, she couldn't have a panic attack again. Now when she gets in a panic situation, and this girl was agoraphobic, the only place she could go was work, okay? It's right there in people's own words. The power of this sucker right here. Look at these damn glasses yet. Russ, a good old friend of mine. Good to see you, Russ. I just saw you were watching. Ray, another old friend of mine from way back with my first wife. We were children. No, we weren't children then. Anyway, Ray knows what I'm talking about. They've watched me do this my entire life, guys. So you know what? If you have to, ask one of those guys. They've seen the power of it. Oh, Mike's persuasive. That's another one of my things, okay? I can build anything in here you want. And these glasses, it pauses the thing. So I'm getting used to them. These are these new meta AI thing. I like to be able to switch them. Because in a minute, I'm going to give you the view here of what it looks like off my ship for everybody. For sticking around this long. All right? But I want you to learn something. That's why I said pain class. I used to have people come up and the girls would tell me, oh, Mike, I don't want to lecture. I said, listen, ladies, a lecture is oration with the attempt to inspire or teach, okay? Which is all I try to do. All right? And I said, and I get paid 30 to 50 grand to speak for an hour and a half. So if I give you one for free, shut up and listen, okay? I really do have something to say, and I'm not trying to be mean, but learn, okay? Because if you learn these, you can pass these on to people. I want, long after I'm gone off of this journey, I want my book, I want people to tell each other, hey, we don't have to listen to shit. We don't have to be in pain. I see people on Sherry's, oh, my loved one's getting, she's arguing with the lady and she's obviously in distress. Well, I would be too. If my loved ones were condemned to pain for the rest of their lives. So anyway, back to the guy with the ball, right? Throwing for his dog. And Lenka had left for Florida. This guy was a fireman. And I looked right at him and I said, hey, listen, you want to try something? It's just me and you here. He goes, sure. I said, you have no nerve damage, right? And he goes, no. I said, okay. I think what you have is an emotional transfer. I said, he goes, what? I said, don't worry about it. Just go through the exercise for me. He goes, okay. I said, that guy that you told me dropped the ladder on your arm. He goes, yeah. I said, did you ever forgive him? Well, of course. He was a little firefighter. I said, no. Did you really forgive him? Did you let him know how much you love him and that your life turned out okay? And he goes, well, I haven't seen him in 25 years. I said, well, see him stand out in front of you now. What do you mean? I said, you got an imagination they told you quit using as a kid? Keep it. It's your most powerful ally when it comes to programming the sucker up here. Okay? Because that's a visualization I'm talking about, guys. And what you visualize and what you imagine comes to be. Sherry will tell you more about that. Okay? She's a good public speaker. She's one of the most awesome in her field. Very few women doing this. And I like to see more of them out there because it was like a male-dominated field forever. Well, hey, listen, women got something to say too. And that's a smart woman. I've had a sit-down lunch with her before I met my narcissist. And she's intelligent. She's articulate. She was Miss Wyoming last year. She's beautiful. She's, again, this year, she's Miss Nevada. And Sherry, I'm rooting for you all the way on. I think you're going to do it this year. She got third runner-up last year. Amazing individual. Okay, amazing parents. You can tell why she is the way she is when you just talk to her parents for a little while. Because they didn't program her with limitations. She went through a hard time a couple years ago, and she'll tell you all about that. I'll leave that up to her. But anyway, okay, I'm rambling on and on. I've got work to do. Sun's coming up. This beautiful ship that I'm hoping that I'm taking time now to, because this just bugs me, that Sherry will come. We're going to do a mastermind on it. And listen, if enough of you want, we will tape it, and we will make it available for, play, because the spots here are going to be about 50 grand each, because I'm very limited on this ship to about 10 people. Well, not when I throw a party, because you'll see it, but I have like 6 cabins. I can put 2 in each cabin. So, but I want everybody to get the benefit of it. I just had to do some revenue raising because I've been off the circuit for a while and trying to get this done. So anyway, the guy with the ball and his dog, okay? So I said, see that guy out in front of you? Go over there. Now, here's a full-grown man, firefighter, everything else. He's seen it all. He walks over. He hugs this imaginary guy, right? The dog is sitting there with the ball in his mouth just waiting for his owner to get back up. And all of a sudden he goes, man, I love you. I'm so sorry. I forgive you. And he started bawling. He bawled for like 5 minutes. And he's looking over at me. I said, let it go, bud. That's that emotion coming out. But I don't cry. I said, well, you are now, so enjoy the release. I said, we're two men. I'm a grown man. I cry. I've been in combat. I cry, okay? I said, don't worry about it. I'm not looking down on you. To me, real men cry, okay? Period. Anybody wants to come debate that with me? Bring it on, Bubba. Russ knows what I'm talking about. He knows me. Anyway, I'm teasing, but I'm not, okay? When he gets done, he walks back over, and I said, now, do you feel better? And he goes, yeah, I feel a lot lighter. I said, great. So I said, see, isn't it funny that we carry that as a weight in our minds? Because it is, and that brings me up. There's another thing I do called the super room technique, okay? It's a DVD, so I may put it out for free. I don't know, you know? I want everybody out there to learn this programming and what I've done, and that was the best one where I've showed you, and I'm not going to give away the secrets, but how to make direct, you won't even need me. You won't need a hypnotist. You won't need anything. You can make direct contact and control anything in your body, anything in your mind, and directly through your subconscious, okay? You know what? I'm going to do that. For a month, I'm going to put up that super room thing that I normally charge for, and if you come, years ago, I used to charge like $300 for the session, okay, when I was doing one-on-ones. I decided I wanted to get out and reach as many people as because I'm now 59, and I'm not getting any younger. You know, so that's why I'm out here on this beautiful thing and bought this big ship I want to get my grandkids set up and my daughter. And anyway, I'm rambling on, people, but here's the thing. He turned around and I said, throw that ball for the dog. And he started picking. I grabbed that thing from him. I said, throw the ball for your dog. He threw it overhand. And I said, you experience any pain? He goes, no. How is that even possible? I said, because your brain, when you were dealing with all that physical stuff in your shattered shoulder, I said, you had the emotional loss of losing your job and your career that you love. So it transferred that pain into a physical sensation in your arm. Your brain did that so that you can handle. That's what she's talking about. It didn't want to suffer, so it transferred. Your brain will do that for you. It has amazing adaptation techniques, okay? I deal with DID. People that are DID, they don't have multiple personalities. They've been through a trauma where their brain had to split, okay? I'll get into all that later because it gets into some really... I've dealt with some of the top DID people in the world. 2 of them are in Las Vegas, and they're like... And I help them reintegrate those parts so that the person becomes whole again. It's not a split personality. What we call it... Are you the same person when you're mad that you are when you're happy? Of course not. Different set of patterns. You are nothing but patterns. Russ has heard me say it. Ray's heard me say it for 40 years. You are nothing but patterns. Every single thing about you. And guess where all the patterns are learned? Back here. Okay, they're stored in this big thing called the subconscious. When you learn to walk, that's 302 muscles simultaneously that a baby has to for months. When you finally get the pattern down, it's stored back here. So now you just go stand up. I do a thing on stage where a person can't control 5 cognitively. And they go, oh, what's wrong? Okay? This is how powerful your brain is. They don't want you to know it because you won't need the drugs. You can heal yourself. Joe Dispenza talks about this. We're not kooks, guys. All right? That lady that challenged me on now, I said, listen. She says, you're making unsubstantiated claims. She was a psychologist. I'm going to leave her name out because I embarrassed her. And I didn't mean to, but I can't stand them. They think they're so... I said, listen, your degree, Freud didn't heal shit. I have no degree. I don't want to go get a psychology degree. I don't need it. I don't need, same thing Bandler did. He went and got one so they could throw it out and say, now get rid of that. It's archaic science. You don't have to talk to someone for years. Sometimes talk therapy helps, but there's a shortcut to it. I went to a Scientology meeting one time. They threw me out because he says, well, we can show you 12 steps. And I said, how about if I show you in 3? And these big guys, they threw me out of the meeting because they didn't like the shortcut. Oh, the mind mechanics here. Let's get rid of that guy. But a lot of their basis is NLP, guys. I got news for you. Okay. So anyway, He threw the ball. The dog, I said, you had an emotional transfer. All we did was let all that emotion out. Your body purged it. Now you have no pain. Okay? So, Sherry, tell your people. They call me. I don't charge. You know that. I will relieve that lady. He wants to do a video call with me. I don't care if it takes 2 or 3 to get through the stubborn little patterns in their mind. The very first thing we're going to do is pattern interrupt and get rid of that belief that I'm going to be in chronic pain. Because as long as you believe that, guess what, buddy? You're going to. Okay? Your brain's going to keep you there. Your body's going to be in pain. You want to suffer the rest of your life? And I tell people that all the time. You don't want help? It's your life. It's nothing on me. I'm not the one that has to experience it. Okay? But it's your power. And that's what she's trying to tell you. I watch her every day. You know what's funny? She's one of my mentors. She keeps me in focus. I need her positivity right now. I'm here busting my butt trying to get this 160-ton ship repaired that Ian damaged and get it in the water. You know, it's 5,000 square feet and 100 foot long and 37 feet tall. I'll show you in a minute. Later, I'll give you guys a tour if you want. But they were going to destroy her. And I said, this is a beautiful old ship. You're not going to destroy her. So I bought her and spending all my hard-earned money trying to get her in the water. So, and they just gave me an extension. So I'm going to talk to Sherry about that today because I need your help, Sherry. I need to put this donation thing out there to all your followers and anybody else is looking. Listen, I'm putting out. I need everybody's help. If everybody watching this broadcast will just share my donation, you know, I don't care. I'm doing a lot of the money myself, and you know, we got a lot of investors, but it's running way over, and the heat is incredible here, and we need supplies. We got a crew coming in to do her haul, you know, and you can go to savingthecat.site, and we're doing updates on there, and it talks about all her progress, and it shows all the pictures when she was born in 2000, and she's a great old ship. She's a one-of-a-kind passenger cruiser yacht. So, and this is where hopefully Sherry will be coming if she's not tied up in the Miss America pageant. But listen, she knows what she's talking about, people. All right? She didn't get where she's at, just like me, but I'm kind of in the back scenes. I always have been, you know. Anthony went his way. Joe Dispenza went his way. I've always been the guy that just kind of, you know, I'm the mind mechanic for years. But now I've realized with social media and everything that I did it again. I wanted people to know the power that's in there. It's why I wrote that book. That was 40 years of my experience. Tune your mind, transform your life. Okay? And everything that's in there that you ever need. And I'm going to give you all, I want you to see one show that everybody should watch. My favorite writer in the world is a man named Dan Millman. Okay, this book changed my life back when I was 18. I was in jail. Okay, I went to jail here in Florida on a stupid check charge when I went to get my entertainer license. Okay, and I read a book called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. Changed my life. And then I saw the movie with Nick Nolte, and one of the best roles he ever, and it's a true story. Based on a true story. But it's about Dan's life, and he accomplished something. I'm not going to give it away. That has never been done since, and the doctors told him couldn't be done. And the 5 life lessons that you really need to live a fulfilling life are in that movie. Okay? When you all watch it, whoever watches it, comment below, and I'll give out a prize to the first 10 people. Okay? Some DVDs and some other stuff, and some free sessions, and all kinds of, okay? To the first 10 people that can tell me what those 5 life lessons are. All right? I'm going to be your mentor, just like Nick Nolte is in the movie for Dan Millman. And it's a guy he literally met that did something that he couldn't explain. And, well, I'm not going to give it away. All right? I have watched it 132 times in my life. And every time I get down and I need a little push, I watch it again. Okay? I watched it with my narcissistic ex that I love with all my heart. Pega, if you're out there, you know, I gave you a chance at a new life. I hope you do something with it. So, I'm hoping to find a cure for narcissism, guys. But the main cure, there is cures for it, but here's the thing. They got to want help. And most narcissists don't think they need help. She had a really rough childhood. She had some bad things happen to her. I'm not saying it makes what they do okay. All right? But I think Dr. Phil said it best. He said they're grabbing at a lifeboat that worked for them as a child. And it doesn't work as an adult. And I think when you see it that way, you have a lot more compassion and empathy for the person that brought so much pain into your life. So, I'm tearing up. You can't tell because I got the glasses on. But it's an emotional subject for me. I just went through 4 years of thinking that I could help someone and I couldn't. And it was a humbling experience for me. Right? So anyway, I'm out. I'm cheery again. I'm moving forward with life. And trust me, the last 18 months, people, even with all my might, has been hard. Now here I am, and I left my house in Vegas. I left everything I knew. I ran. I came to my dad's. I want to see my dad before he passed. He didn't, because he's a stubborn old bugger, and I'll tell you about that story later. And then I came down here, and me and the ship found each other, and she gave me a new task, I guess. You know, something to put my energy into. And there's a lot of synchronicities. But people said, you just don't quit. I said, there ain't an ounce of quit in me. And anybody that knows me knows that. Okay? I have a will that's just as iron, and it's the only thing that got me through COVID. And I met Pega 4 days after I came out of the hospital with COVID. My best friend Steve died. He went on to the next journey, and 4 doors down for me. Okay, I don't want to say my sob stories, but I'm trying to tell you what's happened to me. So if everybody thinks my life is easy, no, it's not. Okay, I have never been depressed a day in my life. I think Russ can tell you that. Russ is on. Ray can tell you that. Ray, you ever know me to be depressed? Patty, that was my first wife's sister. She's on here now. You ever know me to be depressed a day in my life, Patty? I've had bad moments, okay? Never had a bad day, because that's perspective. I remember whenever I think I'm having a bad day, one, there's always somebody having something worse, and I just remember when it was a lot worse off. Gratitude is the attitude, and guess what? Whenever I'm grateful, and that's why anybody that's heard me for 30 years, people say, how you doing? I say, I'm still kicking. It's actually a mantra, folks, okay? I have ALS. I've had cancer, all right? I just got diagnosed over the summer with sarcoma. It's now gone. The doctors can't explain it. I can, okay? Keep it out of the sun, Mike. I'm fair-skinned, guys. It ain't going to happen. I work in the sun all summer long on this ship. I can explain it for you. They don't want to hear it. I don't care. You know, the doctors that want to listen, I'll tell you. I'm going to tell all of you, because the power is right here. Everybody that knows me knows. I ain't got an ounce quit in me, okay? I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to give up on love. If it's meant to happen, just like this ship, we found each other. And for right now, this is the woman in my life. Okay, she weighs 160 tons, and her name is Six-Toed Cat. And she kind of saved me. My kids fell in love with her. My grandkids fell in love with her. She does $20,000 a month on Airbnb. We're going to put her in the water right there in this beautiful harbor. We may end up buying this marina. I don't know. We're working on that right now, too. And I look out. Let me see if I can get these glasses to switch, guys. This is what I see every day. Okay? I'm going to I can bring these people on camera. That's cool. I didn't know I could do that. Add guest. Hey, guys. I don't know if it'll do it. Bring them on camera. I tried. Add. Couldn't add. Okay, it says person doesn't want to add. You guys are shy. Look at you. You've been knowing me your whole life. They're like, no, Mike, you stay on the stage. We're going to stay in the background. Patty, I love you. Heather's birthday was the other day. My first wife. She's now on the other side. She passed away at 46. Left, I'm not going to say a hole in all our lives, because you know what? I look at death different. I celebrate life. I don't. When somebody said earlier, when I said grief, when she said, what emotion would you want to get rid of? Anybody that knows me, I don't grieve. Okay? I celebrate life. And people say, no, you have to grieve. The psychologists will tell you that. Bullshit. No, you don't. It's a pattern, just like anything else. And why do I want to produce a negative pattern? Okay? The Irish don't do it. They get around, they get drunk, and they all tell good stories. Well, guess what? When you tell about good things that happen, how are you going to feel? That's right. Good. Okay? You're getting it. Right? Choose. Choose to live an empowered life, people. Choose to be happy. You know, they're trying to fill you with all this. Chuck, get off of that damn Facebook. I hate the shit anymore. It's all people arguing. Let's get out and meet in the streets like we did when we were growing up. Right, Russ? Right, Ray? We didn't have this Facebook crap. We go out and meet people. We knew our neighbors. We said hi. We shook hands. You know? Patty, same thing. She can tell you, you know? The world has lost a lot. It's great. It connects the other side of the world. That's fine. We can't get to those people right now. I travel all over. So does Sherry. She was in 47 countries in the past. I don't know. That woman travels more than me. So, anyway, been a long-winded. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've been wanting to do an update. Everybody's like, where'd you go? That one a lot. It's great. It connects the other side of the world. That's fine. We can't get to those people right now. I travel all over. So does Sherry. She was in 47 countries in the past. I don't know. That woman travels more than me. So, anyway, been a long-winded. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've been wanting to do an update. Everybody's like, where'd you go? I said, listen, I am going to be returning to touring. Okay. I've got dates scheduled. We're going to be doing the non-smoking seminars. This May, I think for National Cancer Day is Quit Smoking. I'm going to give away that session to everybody. All right. Everybody that wants it. So they can pay what they want. They can give me donations. I don't care. The money will take care of itself. And I really believe that. Sherry feels the same way. And look, she's been blessed. She has another house now. And you know what? You're not taking, I'll guarantee you, when I was in that hotel room, that hospital room, dying of COVID, and I couldn't breathe, and it felt like I was underwater, and my friend Steve died. It's a bad day, but it wasn't, I didn't care that I had a limo in the driveway. I didn't care how many things were in my house. I didn't care that I had, I didn't care. I got news for you, folks. And then I've spent a lot of time with people taking their last breaths, okay? Cancer patients, stuff like that. You want to know the one regret I never hear? Anybody? I never hear anybody say that they're sorry they did something. Okay? The only regrets I hear out of people that are passing over is the things they didn't do. I didn't spend enough time with family. I didn't spend enough time on myself. I didn't spend enough time with my loved ones, I should have gone on more vacations. I should have looked at more sunsets. So listen, you're still breathing. I'm still kicking, okay? I wake up every morning, and that's my mantra, all right? I'm still kicking. I'm grateful. Start your day off in gratitude. Remember when you were a kid? What was your first thought in the morning, people? Huh? What were you going to create for today? Were you going to a friend's house? What were you going to do? Were you going to go build a fort? Were you going to play with dolls? Were we going to play soldier? We were creative. Engage that side of your mind. Don't let them. I tell people all the time, I get older, I refuse to grow up. It's not about maturity. It's about, I'm not going to lose that little kid. I'm not going to lose the imagination. I get up every day, and it's a new day for me to create. It is for you too. All right? That's my message to all of you. I'll sign off for now. I've got to get back to working, and I'll see if I can get this thing to, see if I don't know how these work. Let me see if I can find there it is, a little camera. Let's see that alert. See if it'll switch. We'll go to the glasses? Nope. All right, then we'll do it this way. I'll figure out how that works later, Facebook. Anyway, folks, here's what I'm looking at, okay? There's the beautiful view that I get every morning, and my shakes included. Whoop. Rotate. You can't turn the phone. Oh, shut up, Facebook. Anyway, here it is. All right. Here's my ship. She is a beautiful old girl. Like I said, her name is Six-Toed Cat. This is the one Sherry and I will hopefully be doing. If you guys want, there's going to be a sound system in here. There's an upper deck. There's 6 cabins below. I brought all the sound from... Anyway, I'll give you a full tour later. Okay, everybody? Go to savingthecat.site if you can help with the donations. Sherry, anybody, if I've helped you, have your people call me. I will do those sessions for their loved ones, okay? And they won't have to suffer in pain the rest of their life. At all. Guarantee I can turn it off. Even if it takes me a couple sessions, we'll get through their mind. We'll turn it off, just like we have tons of other people, just like we did my daughter. Okay? So, all right, people. Peace out. Ray, it's been good seeing you. Russ, Patty, everybody, I love you. And I'm going to get back to work, and I will talk to you all later. Sherry, love you, chica.